Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner. My name is OJ, and in today's episode I will be talking about altcoins. And should you be investing in altcoins in the long term? Many people just came recently into the crypto space, and I see a lot of people talking about buying an altcoin, not any specific one, but generally buying an altcoin, holding it for 5 years. Some people even talk about 7 or 10-year plan or stuff like that. And I want to give you my reasons why I don't really think it's a very good idea to be buying altcoins with that kind of a long-term perspective, because things don't always work out as you think. I'm going to explain. Let's get started. This episode of Crypto Corner is sponsored by PrimeXBT, an award-winning multi-currency trading platform which offers access to hundreds of assets, including cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, EOS, Cardano, and many more, hundreds of forex pairs, commodities, metals, oil, gas, and others, and indices such as S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and many more. To provide the highest level of liquidity and instant order execution, PrimeXBT aggregates feed from 12 industry-leading exchanges and feed providers. They have 4 base currencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, USD Tether, and USD Coin, plus their native COV token. Most importantly, PrimeXBT is the exclusive home to co-vesting, a peer-to-peer copy trading module that features a 5-star rating system and global leaderboard that supplies followers with the success and risk metrics that they need so they can make informed decisions about which strategies to follow. This is an automated trading feature that allows novice traders to leverage the skills of more experienced traders and collect profits in a very hands-free and kind of a done-for-you type of a system. It's all done on autopilot. Once you start copying a trader, all of the trades that they execute are being also executed in your account. You don't have to do manually anything, and you can always stop the copy trading at any point that you want. I have been testing this service already, and I shared with you my experience in this video, and also I did a very thorough video on PrimeXBT where I explained all of the different features of the exchange. You will find these links in the description below. What I really like about this exchange is the fact that you don't have to share your ID or any other sensitive data with them. KYC is optional. It is not obligatory, and they have some of the lowest fees on the market, which I also really like. I also have a welcome bonus code that is in the description, so give it a try. Make sure that you use the links in the description below. Okay, so why do I think that altcoins are not necessarily the best long-term investment? I've been in this space for more than 6 years already, and I have some experience. This is why I'm going to be talking purely from my personal experience. And I want to start here with a disclaimer that this is not a financial or investment advice. These are just my personal views, and I'm providing commentary on the market movements based on my personal experience. So, of course, what works for me doesn't necessarily have to work for you, or what doesn't work for me could actually work for you. But generally, I'm going to be giving you some examples here of altcoins that didn't really live up to expectations. And unfortunately, there are so many examples. I'm not going to go through the whole market here. We have more than 6,000 coins on the market. And of course, there's way too many examples. I'm going to give you just a few of the examples that I have personally traded, coins that I personally invested in and I traded over the last few years. Some of these I invested with the kind of a mindset of a long-term investment, such as Dash or Stratis or some other ones. Now here on the screen we are seeing Verge coin, and in fact I'm doing this video right now because over the last few days we had quite a dramatic drop in the market, as you know, and a lot of coins are actually correcting heavily right now. Bitcoin is correcting by 30% from its all-time high, and this is one of the coins that is performing the best. A lot of the other coins are performing way worse than what Bitcoin is doing, and this is why I decided to do this video right now. And even though in the short term some of these coins can perform really well, that is not really the case when you look long term. For instance, Bitcoin is 43% down from its all-time high. But if we look at some of the altcoins, you will see that most of them are correcting much heavier than Bitcoin. we see that Ethereum is doing okay, 40%, and BNB, no, this is ADA, Cardano, is doing okay, 30%, but what is happening with the rest of the market? Binance, 49%, so that's 50% down. Also, XRP, 73% down. Dogecoin, which has been pumping really heavy, it is 56% down. So typically what I'm saying here is that some of these coins are much better than others in preserving their value even when we have a market crash like this one. We have Polkadot 55% down. Uniswap on the other hand is only 39% down. But generally you see that the majority of the coins, Bitcoin Cash 84% down, Litecoin 56% down, Stellar 57% down, Verge 56%, what is that, EOS 72%, and Filecoin 70%, Tron is 75% down. So there's many examples here. I'm looking here from their all-time highs. Of course, all-time highs are not necessarily something that we experienced recently in all of these coins. Some of them printed an all-time high in the last month or in the last couple of months. Some of these printed an all-time high many years ago, and this is what I want to stress on in this video. So let me give you a few specific examples. This is Verge. Verge was actually, it is a privacy coin. It was a very hot topic back in 2017, and it was pumping really hard. As you can see, actually, in the all-time high of Verge was back in 2017. It was in December 2017, and since then it is 90% down from this all-time high. It was over 3 years ago. So if you were buying Verge in 2017 and thinking long term and thinking I'm going to keep this coin for 5 years and let's see what happens, well, 3 years later you are 90% down on this coin. Okay, it doesn't mean that you necessarily bought it at its peak, but certainly over the last 3 years you haven't really had much of a gain, because look at it, look how far down it is compared to its highs of this 2017 pump, December. So ideally what you should have done is sell out of this Verge, and if you really like the coin, if you really want it, wait for it to really correct and go down and enter the accumulation phase, which is this flatlining here. This is the accumulation phase. This is your best entry for this coin, and if you entered it in this phase, then you're having some profit. However, it is by no means a good store of value for these 3 years, and your money is much better saved in Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the top coins rather than this one. Another one that I want to give you example here is Dash. And Dash was a coin that I was heavily invested in 2017. It printed an all-time high again in 2017, so we're talking 3 years ago, and since then it is 89% down, even though Dash was actually performing well over the last few months. It's a few 100% up over the last few months, but overall it is 87% down from its all-time high. Had I sold it at its all-time high, my money would have been much better invested in any other coin, well, not any, but in many other coins than sitting in Dash. And unfortunately, I still have some Dash, which I regret. Not many, around 10 or something like that, so I did sell a lot of them, but Dash was a token, another privacy coin, and privacy coins were a really big topic in 2017. So Dash was, and I've made a lot of money with Dash, so I got emotionally attached. Dash was one of those tokens that, because of very good profits, I was one of those people that like to invest in a coin that has already given them a good profit. This is actually not a winning strategy. It is a statistic that I recently saw, and I actually presented to you in another video, that a lot of the traders, a bigger percentage of the traders, tend to invest back in a coin or an asset that has previously given them a good profit. I mean, past performance doesn't necessarily mean that the future performance will be as good, and as you can see, the current performance of this coin is nowhere near what the past performance was. Now, there is still a chance that over the next few years this coin will go to its all-time high, and maybe I will not be making a loss even if I bought it at its all-time high, which I didn't. However, the reality is at this point, this coin is 87% down from its all-time high. At the same time, we have coins that are 40% and 30% down from their all-time highs. So clearly, in terms of investment, my money would be better if it was in these coins, in any of these coins that are right now 30 or 40% down rather than 80% down. Here is another example, Strat. Stratis is a project that was also very hyped back in the day, 2017. This was in the top coins. It was in the top 10. I think for the longest time it was top 8, and at some point it even climbed to top 4 or top 5. So if you're looking into the top coins by market cap ranking, you would think that this is a great coin to invest, and this is what I was thinking back in 2017. I bought it. Of course, I bought it cheaper. I didn't buy it at its high, and its all-time high was $22. So of course I made some profit with this. I sold some of them, you know, as it was pumping, which is what I always do. And I always suggest that if you see a strong pump like this, you should be unloading and taking profits and then waiting for the correction. But not many people do that. Anyway, I was holding Stratis throughout this whole correction here, and I even accumulated again as it was going down in accumulation point. So as it started going up, I was selling because I realized that this coin is, I mean, right now it's not even in the top 20, it's not even in the top 30 anymore. So I realized that the interest in this coin has subsided, and as the market is no longer interested in the coin, it's not really doing these big pumps that it used to do. This is why I got rid of my Stratis, but it is 93% down from its all-time high, and this is over the last 3 years. That's negative 93% return on your investment. So not a good store of value either. EOS is another one, and NEO is another one. I mean, NEO used to be called the Chinese Ethereum, an Ethereum killer, and all of that. Many people were really having high hopes for NEO, and recently it pumped, which is when I actually was selling my NEO. Again, as I said, as I see a pump, I will be selling, and NEO was one of those tokens that I was holding throughout the whole bear market. So I was really waiting for a pump in order to unload my NEO. I mean, right now with the market crash that happened, it is 72% down from its all-time high, and its all-time high was more than 3 years ago. So it wasn't recently. Recently it didn't go as high as its previous all-time high, so it's not a great performance. This is not a coin that you want to be holding in the longer term. Okay, let's go to EOS, which I mentioned. EOS is 72% down from its all-time high, which was also 3 years ago. So again, not a great performance, not a coin that you want to be holding longer term. This is what I mean. This is why in many videos I've been saying many times that for me, altcoins are not something that you should be looking as a long-term investment, because these are projects that come and go in terms of trends. I mean, this year everything is about NFTs, and DeFi is still very strong. Last year, in fact, DeFi was really the killer. Everything was DeFi. All of the DeFi tokens and DeFi coins, you know, projects that are working in the DeFi sector. This is decentralized finance for those of you who are not familiar with the term. All of these tokens and coins were performing really well. So this year, DeFi is still performing very well, but right now with the market correction, DeFi is suffering badly, and a lot of the DeFi tokens are correcting heavier, much worse than what other tokens are doing. You know, tokens like coins and tokens like Ethereum or Bitcoin or Cardano. I mean, Cardano is entering DeFi right now, but generally, you know, these are tokens that are performing much better than all of the DeFi tokens that are already established in the DeFi space. Now, if we look at this chart here, actually, let me change my screen. Here, what you are seeing is a list of tokens that I have arranged according to, you know, percentage down from their all-time high. And we have a few, I mean, we have quite a few that we've never heard of. I'm just going to point out here the most obvious ones, the ones that are more famous. For instance, Lisk. This is a token that in 2017 was a big deal. Everyone was talking about it. It is 99% down from its all-time high, guys. And even though in the last year, and no, not in the last few months, in this year alone, it is 200% up. Despite all of that, it is 99% down from its all-time high. Another one that I will point out here is library credits. Again, a token that in 2017 we were all trading, and it was a very well performing token and everything. But thank God I didn't keep any of these, because it is 99% down from its all-time high. And in the last year, it's 159% up. Yet it's still 99% down from its all-time high. This is really as low as it can go. This is 99.98% down. I really don't see how can this token go any cheaper than that, any lower than that. Another one was Ardor. This was again a token that was 2016, 2017 was quite a hot topic. This project, we were all trading it. You can see that the all-time high was actually 5 years ago, and it is 99% down as well. Zcash, a token that when it launched in 2017, I think, no, it was in 2016, I think it launched in October or November, somewhere there, and it was valued at 2 or 3 Bitcoin at the time. It was more expensive than Bitcoin. Bitcoin was around maybe $700 when this token was more than $2,000. So it had an all-time high 5 years ago, and it's now 98% down from that all-time high. In the last year, it's 180%. This year alone, it's 169% up. However, even with this growth, it is still 98% down from its all-time high. And if I scroll down, we will see even more tokens that are still with a really terrible performance from their all-time high. Bancor is one of them. This is a decentralized exchange. 4 years ago was the all-time high, 79% down today. So I mean, I can go on and on and on. You can see this list is actually quite a long list, and a lot of these tokens are 90% and 80% and even more. Actually, what I realize now is that I've arranged them as when was their all-time high, how long ago, not what was the percentage, but when their all-time high was. And as we scroll down, we are getting closer and closer to their all-time high. But all of these tokens had their all-time high in 2017. That includes Bitcoin Cash, that includes Komodo, it includes Dash, of course, which I mentioned, even IOTA. Also, we have NXT, that was a hot token. It's 97% down. Verge is here, which I mentioned already. And there's so many. I don't really want to be going through each of them. There's no point. You get the point. You get what I mean. What I'm actually saying is that not all of the altcoins are a good investment, and tokens and coins that today seem like a really strong project, in 3 years' time, they can be like one of those coins that we don't talk about anymore, and nobody is really excited about. Nobody is investing in them. Nobody is trading them. A low trading volume, low investment volume also means that the price will be going down, because you need a lot of buyers and sellers. You need that activity in order for the price to go up and to keep up. I mean, right now, a lot of these tokens are still being traded. I mean, Bitcoin Cash, yes, it's being traded, and it's even in high volumes, but Bitcoin Cash is not even close to its all-time high in fiat value, and not even close to its all-time high in Bitcoin value. So is that a good investment? As a project, Bitcoin Cash is not a bad project. I mean, it's doing everything that Bitcoin is doing, and it's doing it faster and cheaper, right? So in theory, or if you just look at the technicals or the white paper, everything points to that project being a good project. It was supposed to be the real Bitcoin, and it was marketed as the Bitcoin killer. It was marketed as the better Bitcoin. It was supposedly what Satoshi was envisioning for Bitcoin. And with the forks of Bitcoin and the upgrades that it had, many people were kind of thinking that BTC, Bitcoin, today's Bitcoin, is not what the original Bitcoin was meant to be. It doesn't matter. Look at what the market is considering to be the real Bitcoin. BTC is still the king. BTC is what the market considered to be the valuable coin, the project that matters. This is why all the money is in BTC, not in BCH, which is Bitcoin Cash. This is why you shouldn't really be listening to marketers and people who are promoting these coins. You should be listening to what the market, what the free market is actually dictating. And in this case, it is dictating that BTC, Bitcoin, is the real Bitcoin. This is the coin that you should be putting your money in. And this is the coin that is performing much better even in a bear market. Throughout the last bear market, which lasted 2 years, Bitcoin dropped by 80%. All of the altcoins dropped by 90, 95 to 99%. Bitcoin was still the one that was holding its value much better, even though 80% was quite a bad crash. It was still the coin that actually held its value throughout this crash much better than everything else. And this is why most of my money, if not all of them, no, it was 95% of my money was in Bitcoin. And then I had some Ethereum, and I had some Dash, and I had some Stratis, and some of those, a few of EOS and other ones that I later sold out. And this is when I realized that my money, if it's going to be in crypto for the longer term, it has to be in those projects that have already proven to be stable and to be strong and solid, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's it. I mean, okay, Chainlink is very good right now, but Chainlink still has to prove itself to go through a bear market, and we have to see how it's going to perform in a bear market before we can decide whether it is a good store of value. Cardano, it still has to experience a proper bear market, a couple of years of bear market, for us to see if it's a good store of value. I mean, a lot of these Chainlink and Cardano, Polkadot, I mean, these are too recent to be considering them a strong hold for the longer term. So if we see a bear market coming, and many people are already talking about a bear market already, you know, starting now, I don't think so. I've given you my reasons in my previous episode why I don't think we are entering a bear market yet. But if we enter a bear market, I wouldn't hold my capital in altcoins. If anything, I will be holding Bitcoin and some Ethereum again, but I will be exiting. If I'm exiting positions from altcoins, it will be in stable coins and in fiat, because a bear market can easily last for more than a year. And throughout this year, my capital doesn't have to be seeing this kind of price drop of, you know, 60, 70, 80% or 90%. I don't really need to be going through all of that. I can hold my capital in stable coins or fiat and accumulate the same coins that I had, but at a much lower price. And this is how you multiply your capital. This is how you grow your capital. This is why I'm talking about altcoins being a short-term to medium-term hold for me. As soon as I see a pump, a strong pump in any of the altcoins, I sell. And I know that a correction will come. And even if it's not immediate, even if the correction comes in 6 months' time or in a year's time, I can wait for the bear market for accumulating them again. But I know that if I accumulate them at the lowest possible prices, or in the accumulation phase, which is when they hit the lowest support, I'm definitely guaranteed to make a profit once they start going up. You're not going to make a profit if you bought the coin during the bull run, because in a bull run, sometimes you're buying the coin already quite high. And in a bear market, it can drop way, way, way below the price that you bought it at. This is why it's not a good idea to be buying something, especially if it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, any of the other altcoins. It's not a good idea to be buying them for the longer term and to think I'm just going to sleep on it for 5 years. In 5 years' time, that project might not exist anymore. Look at Verge. Look at, okay, Verge still exists. Dash still exists. Stratis still exists. All of these, they still exist. EOS, NEO. But they're not even close to the all-time high prices of 2017. And even if they get close to these prices, it will take them such a long time that during this time you could have made 5 times more money if you had put this, or even 100 times more if you had put this money into tokens and coins that are currently hyped, that are currently doing something new and everyone is talking about. You have to move with the trends in crypto. You have to always look at what is hot right now. Put your money in what is hot right now, not what has already been 2 or 3 years ago. This is why I don't really recommend, even though this is not a financial advice, I still do not recommend that you will be holding altcoins for the longer term. This is it, guys. I don't really want to make this video too long. Hopefully this is helping you. Again, I'm not really telling you what to do or how to trade or how to invest. This is purely up to you. But from my personal mistakes and experience, I can tell you that it is just not a good idea to be buying any altcoin and to be holding it for the long term. There's very few altcoins that have proven themselves to be a good long-term hold, like Ethereum and Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is not an altcoin. I guess Monero, you can argue it's a good long-term hold, even though Monero is, again, really low in terms of from its all-time high. But I mean, some of these coins and tokens are really doing groundbreaking stuff, and you know that in a few years' time they will be appreciated. So you can invest in them longer term. However, if you see a bear market coming, all of these coins will be underperforming. They will all go underwater and they will be losing a ton of money. So I don't see the point of holding them long term. It's always best to keep an eye on the prices of these tokens. Maybe if you still hold them on exchanges, put some stop losses. Make sure that if the market goes crashing down by 40% or something like that, you are selling with maybe 20% loss rather than 40%, because you don't really want to be making losses. You are investing to make a profit. You're not investing to make a loss. Well, this is it, guys. Thanks for staying until the end of the video. If you liked it, if it helped you, show your support by leaving a like and a comment below, and share it with someone else who would also benefit from watching it. Also, don't forget that leaving comments from now on all the way until August is going to qualify you for my crypto giveaway, my summer giveaway. One of the top prizes is a Ledger Nano S, one of the most desired hardware wallets, and there will be other prizes as well. I will be announcing them very soon, so make sure that you catch this. And also don't forget to check out the description below. All the links in the description are links to important services for crypto users, such as the top exchanges, the top hardware wallets, the charting tools that I'm using, and other services that are essential for any crypto user. So make sure that you check out the links in the description below. This is everything from me. I'm signing off, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode.